Action.
Welcome to Off Camera, the UC Film Society radio show all about movies. I'm Ollie.
I'm Jake.
And I'm Cam.
And we'll be your directors for this episode. This week, we're back to our regularly scheduled programming, as we don't have a movie to deep dive today. We'll be running a new segment.
Geez, Ollie.
Just because I didn't watch anything.
Yeah,
Okay.
because you didn't watch anything. My God.
We will be running a new segment a bit later, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. But first, we'll jump into our recent watching. So, Jake, what have you watched this week?
I watched Ponyo. After you watched it last week, I was like, now is the time to watch this. It's one of the few Miyazakis I haven't seen. It was my first time watching it. I adored it. It was one of the most perfect Ghibli movies I've seen because it encapsulated everything that's great about their movies. The world is amazing. Animation looks great. Story's great. Music's phenomenal. Like, I just loved it. And, you know, I was not expecting it to tackle the themes it tackled. I'd never seen that from a Miyazaki movie. Him kind of like exploring love and romance. There's some of that in like Howl's Moving Castle, but like, I don't know. It felt really innocent and really nuanced in Ponyo, even though it's very simple.
I feel like it's one of those underrated Ghibli movies. Not that anyone like doesn't think it's good or thinks it just doesn't tend to rank up there with like Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle, and like all the other big name ones. But it hits those same sort of themes.
Absolutely.
But it's very much a kid's movie, which I know like you can watch. The other ones are designed for kids as well, but like all ages. Whereas Ponyo feels much more aimed at kids than any of the other ones in a way that really works for it, at least in my opinion. Because it's the only Ghibli movie that's really stuck with me from when I was a kid.
Yeah, nice.
It was definitely the first Ghibli movie I ever watched.
Yeah.
And it's just an impactful story.
It really is. I wish I had seen it when I was a kid because I feel like I'd love it even more. Like I could just tell. You just know by watching that. It's like, oh my God, this is like, it's one of the best kids films. I loved it, and it definitely wouldn't be in my favorite Ghibli movies either personally, but it's certainly a great movie and certainly amazing. And I think I'd feel different about that if I watched it as a kid, as you did. I also watched The Descendants, which is an Alexander Payne, the guy that made The Holdovers recently, movie with George Clooney as the leading man, who is amazing in this movie. I love Clooney. This is definitely one of his most interesting characters. Quite a different performance. Really liked the story, really liked the writing, really liked the acting. Just a really enjoyable, simple, emotional, and funny movie. And then we might get into this a bit later. I watched this Invincible Season 2 finale. And then after that, I finally watched Invincible Adam Eve special. That I really liked. The animation in that was awesome, even better than Season 2 in my opinion. Like, and
because it came out before Season 2 came out.
Yeah.
It's like we watched it and I was like, this is way better than Season 1.
Yeah.
And then Season 2 came out, and Season 2 has some moments which the animation is really good, like on par, if not better than the special. But I think because the special was a one-off and they could just sort of do whatever they wanted, it had a little bit more freedom.
You could tell. The fight scenes were amazing. That one on the bridge near the end, I was like, oh my God, this is just so exciting and so amazing. And it was good seeing Eve's backstory. So it was a good watch. It definitely added a lot for me and it was good. And then the Season 2 finale we can get into maybe a bit later. I don't know when's the right time, but
when Cam's gone.
I've got so many thoughts.
Okay, all right. No, I started episode 1 already, and I'm gonna make my way through it, so it'll be in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, nice. What did you watch, Cam?
Well, Ollie, now that you mention it, I watched a little-known film called The Drop-Off. I'm just kidding. Well, we should probably talk about it.
Yeah.
We, the three of us, and our good friend Daniel Beaumont, made a short film together called The Drop-Off. You can find it on IMDb and Letterboxd. It's not out on streaming yet because we're still in talks with Netflix. You know, it's a whole thing. We'll get back to you on it.
Series development, yada yada.
Yeah, exactly.
We're turning it into a feature next.
Yeah, exactly. Just like we'll do the Drop Off 2.
There was talks about it.
Yeah, it talks about it. No, but in all seriousness, I watched Gemini Man again. I don't know why I did, but it's such a terrible movie. Do not watch this.
Okay, I won't. I've never seen it. I know nothing about
Wasn't
but I'm not
planning
gonna
on
watch
it.
Cool, enough
All
said.
I know it's got Will Smith.
I also watched Bird on a Wire,
haven't heard of this.
which is a 1990 film directed by John Badham, starring Mel Gibson and Goldie Hawn. It's about like an FBI informant who's in WITSEC, and his old girlfriend finds him one day, and then they have to run away from bad guys trying to kill him because he's in WITSEC, and they found him. Oh no! But it's actually pretty good.
Cool. It sounds like one of those fun. Like,
it's an action comedy, which we don't see much of recently. I don't know if you saw my review, but yeah, you don't see many films like this. It's always more action or more comedy. There's not a perfect blending of the two, which I think this one really is, and it's quite good.
I think we're getting back to more action comedies
Definitely
being
getting back to
popular. We'll talk about one later today, and The Fall Guy looks like a big action comedy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to mention. The Fall Guy coming out. Like, it definitely seems.
But yeah, there has been a lack of that.
There's been a
and you
pretty
can tell.
big dip off.
Yeah.
But it was cool to watch. I don't know. I'd recommend watching it. I think it's on Amazon. Yeah, it's on Amazon. But yeah, it's fun. And then, did I watch anything else?
Tron Legacy.
I didn't actually.
But you reviewed it.
That's a lie. I did watch it. What the hell? I forget what I'm doing over the week. Yeah, I watched Tron Legacy again. I love it. Daft Punk is amazing.
Yeah,
and
I love Daft Punk so much.
How is this film needs a sequel or something
Well,
else?
there's a new Tron film coming out.
The third one's coming out.
What?
With 2025.
Not watching it.
That was Jake for reference.
Hate Jared Leto.
He's gonna method act.
He's the worst.
But yeah, there is another one coming out. So you'll get to watch it.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's good.
Maybe we'll do a deep dive on it.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Tron
not.
and
In
Tron
4
Legacy
years.
are the next two movies on my list. Like, they are absolutely the movies I'll be watching next.
Let me know
when I sit down and watch a movie on my own.
Let me know
I
how
might watch
the
others.
first one is. Let me know how the first one goes, because I don't know. I'm very tentative to watch it.
You haven't seen it?
I haven't, but
Do you think you need to have to understand the second one?
No.
Are they completely separate?
Yep.
Cool. Good to know.
Are they? I
Probably-
don't know. I haven't
probably
seen
not.
either
there's
of them, but
no callbacks, nothing. There's
But
nothing
how do you
that
know? 'Cause
talks
you haven't
about
seen the first one.
That's not what it. Cool. Okay.
isn't it about the main guy's son and the father?
Yeah, but the story is already set up
Okay.
to where you don't need to know. You don't need to
Yeah.
watch the first.
I guess
one.
it's like Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
You don't really need to have seen Top Gun, but it helps.
It
If
does.
you
I
do-
wouldn't want to watch Top Gun Maverick without having seen Top Gun.
Me neither, but you can. Like, you can understand it. It
Hot take.
lays it out
Yes.
for you.
I prefer Maverick.
Oh, I prefer Maverick by 10 miles, but you do need to see the first one.
Yeah, definitely. But anyway, that's what I watched this week. Ollie, what did you watch?
I didn't watch any movies this week because in preparation for the Invincible Season 2 finale, which I was so obsessed with, I watched the entire show again.
No.
No.
It's
I'm just
not.
kidding.
Like, sure, I am, but it's not. It's not an anime.
Not in this case, you
Not
won't.
in this
No.
case.
That's fair. That's fair. From what I've seen from episode 1, it looks super cool.
What did
It's
you think
fantastic.
about the
Super
finale?
excited for it.
Loved it. I think they just nailed
Amazing.
everything.
I was blown away.
It's so cool. It's just such a fantastic show, and the way they're dealing with the issues that they deal with, and the
Trying
like
so
the
hard
character.
not to give spoilers.
Yeah, and the the character development that they're going through. It's just chef's kiss.
I really wish I could have watched the season all in one go or week by week. I honestly
Without the break. In the
Yes,
middle.
I think the only reason I had issues with the season is because of the break. Because
So the creators have addressed that. They've literally said that that's been the number one or almost the only complaint with this season is that there was a break in the middle. Robert Kirkman, the creator, said it needed it for this, like for the production, because of the way things went, like after season 1 and stuff. He said he can't promise that it won't happen again, but it doesn't seem like it's going to happen for season 3. Not that we have a release date yet, but they want to be releasing a season every year.
Yeah.
In which case, it depends whether they count a year as being from now, like a few days after the season 2 ended, or being from the start of the season. Because if it's from the start of the season, we'll get another season at the end of this year.
Yeah, that'd be good. I'd like that.
I would love that. But people are thinking probably around autumn next year.
Interesting.
2025.
Hey, I don't know. Just the last episode reminded me why I love the show so much, and it made me so happy.
It's just fantastic.
Yeah.
So in my rewatch of the series, I was intending to rewatch all 15 episodes for all the 8 of season 1 and the 7 of season 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I also watched the Adam Eve special again before season 2 episode 8 came out. I didn't finish that. I got up to halfway through episode 5. So I'm now in the process of watching episode 6 and 7. So I will then watch episode 8 again because I've only seen it the once now.
Mm-hmm.
And it just ends in such an impactful way.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really intrigued to see how they go from that to season 3.
Yeah. And again, like I don't know what happens in the comics, so I'm so excited to find out what actually happens.
Yeah.
You know,
Kirkman has said that he wants every episode of season 3 to feel like a finale, which scares me.
I don't like that.
I like it as in the show's going to be epic. I don't like it plot wise, as in I think the plot's going to be great. I'm scared. I'm scared about what the events are going to be, not about the writing or anything. Because I trust them.
Yeah, I trust them too. I want this season to progress towards something, but
they said about season 2 part 2 when during the break they were like, every episode is more epic, and they said that, and then it came out and every episode was great, but it's not like every episode was like a finale.
No.
And so he can say that and I still feel safe.
Sure, fair enough.
Because I don't feel like they're going to overdo it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're going to make it work.
Yeah, I trust the story. I trust the writers. It's a great show. I love it.
But yeah, once Cam's watched the whole thing,
then we'll talk.
Then we'll be able to talk about it without spoilers.
Yeah.
Our first deep dive on a TV series.
It's hard to say.
Yeah, we could do that.
I'll be down.
100%.
It's hard to say more without spoiling.
Yeah.
What it could be, because I haven't seen this, but by saying each episode is a finale, could it be that's the end of each character's journey?
No, because season 3 is not going to be the end of the show. There's going to
be a lot more.
They've said they want to do it in like 8 or 9 seasons.
Oh Jesus!
But that's because there's there's a definite end in the comics because it's based on comics, and so they have to reach that point, and they've just mapped it out. That's how long it's going to take.
Okay.
So it's not like some shows where they keep going, and because they've finished the storyline in like season 3, but they want to keep making the show, they have to make it up as they go. They're just basing it off the comics, so they
then. Like, if they've already planned it out, then
I'm not sure.
That makes sense.
I'm not in the writers' room, so I don't know how much they've planned.
What? You're not?
One day.
That's crazy.
One day.
Yeah.
Maybe for season 9.
Yeah.
I think he just means every episode is going to feel very epic. The stakes are going to be high, which is good. Which is a good thing, as long as there's like a clear story, which I think there will be.
Yeah, that's definitely what they're going for. Mm-hmm. Because, the events that are about to come next in the comics, I don't know what they are because I don't want spoilers, so I haven't read it. But I know that it does get crazier than what's happened so far. Like what's happened so far, season 1 wasn't that crazy. There were some crazy parts of it, but the actual season wasn't that crazy. Then this was definitely crazier. Season 2 was a bit more intense.
Yeah.
Season 3 is just going to get more intense.
I will say, though, I did prefer season 1, personally. I just like the more intimate story focused on Mark and his dad. But that's just my take.
Yeah, it works.
Both were really
There's
good.
a reason season 1 was so critically acclaimed.
Yeah.
And season 2 is still really critically acclaimed because it builds well off such a solid base.
It does, yeah.
I will say, after watching the first episode, that I've not wanted to fly so much.
Literally.
They make it look so much more fun.
Literally, anytime anyone said, what superpower would you have? I've always said teleportation. But in the past couple of weeks, I would say flight. Like, if I could fly the way that Invincible flies,
That'd be so
it's
cool.
just so...
And
it seems so freeing.
They just make it look so awesome.
Yeah, I would love to be able to fly.
Yeah.
Now that I've watched this.
Well, with teleportation though, how would you do it? Would you do it Doctor Strange style or like Star Trek style?
Like Nightcrawler style.
Where you just...
Yeah, you just like, you're there and then you're there.
Okay.
You don't want to be stepping out of portals.
No.
It's lame. They see
too
you coming.
slow.
I see you coming.
The idea is it's instantaneous.
But then that brings up the issue of like, does teleporting? No, no, we're not. We're not getting into that now.
Teleporters as a like technological device, that's an issue. But when it's teleportation as like a power or a magic thing in these universes, that's never really a thing because, I mean, in the Skullduggery Pleasant books, there's a teleporter, and the way that they explain that his powers works are that he stays still and the earth moves around him.
Damn.
Which, like, insane.
Yeah.
But it in that way, or it's like, sometimes it's explained as just really fast movement, but like as in like that's how it works. You are moving, you're not deconstructing.
Yeah. Okay.
But there's no, like, if you were to put your hand in between the way, it's not like they're going to hit it, but you're not deconstructing. It's just like...
So is this a broader
movement.
talk about sci-fi concepts that we should have at a later date?
Well, this is a big sci-fi episode. Not big, but we're talking about sci-fi today.
Yeah.
So
But
spoilers.
first, we're going to do our deep dive.
pick your moment.
I mean, pick your moment.
No, we're going to do a deep dive on...
No, we're not. We're going to do pick your moment.
We're going to do a deep dive on...
the first episode
the
of
first
Invincible.
episode of Invincible.
No, we're
Pretty
we're
mid
doing-
out of 10.
Out of 10? Mid? That's the number?
Yeah.
Mid out of 10?
Yeah.
Nah.
I'd rate it a...
Peak.
I'd rate it a...
Do you... Okay. Jake, do you think it's the best episode of season 1?
Season 1, episode 1.
Yeah.
No, don't
It's
tell
either
me.
that
Don't tell
or the
me because I'll
finale.
be disappointed.
The finale is the highest rated episode of the whole show.
Please
I
don't
do
tell me because I'll be
think-
disappointed.
8. Season 1, 8 is the best.
You won't be disappointed. I promise
You
you won't.
won't.
be
Okay.
disappointed.
What do you think?
I'm not listening. I'm turning my
I have
headphones off.
many feelings
Okay.
about the whole thing.
You don't do you think it's either of those, or do you think it's not another episode?
I just feel like I can't rate a single episode.
We'll
because
do a
it's
deep
all so
dive on
good.
season 1 later in the
Yeah. But now we're going
Sure.
to jump into pick your
Later in this
moment.
season.
We're going
Just
to
watch it there.
actually jump into pick your moment,
No.
and we're gonna talk about Bullet Train.
Hell yeah.
So,
What?
Jake, can you give us a quick rundown on Bullet Train?
Bullet Train came out in 2022, I think.
Yeah.
Starring Brad Pitt, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Brian Tyree Henry, loads of different cameos from celebrities, small performances. Really fun action comedy, very much in the style of John Wick. I think it's directed by David Leitch. Let me confirm that. Yeah, directed by David Leitch, who worked on the Wick films and worked on the Deadpool films. Does a lot of stunts for Keanu Reeves.
Mhm.
So it's very much in that fighting style, but it also is heavily comedic. Very funny movie. It's all set on a train, essentially, and it's a very fun movie. I can't say like I'm in love with it. It's like one of my favorite movies, but you just have such a great time watching it, and it's just so easy to watch and so much fun. So yeah, it's a good film to talk about.
It's
and
definitely one of those films that kind of flew under the radar. There weren't many trailers for it.
It's almost like it was a train under a bridge, you know?
Good take.
Cam's quitting the podcast just right
I
now.
liked it.
See ya.
Yeah.
You do that every other episode.
That's Jake's line.
See ya. Yeah. It did fly under the radar. I mean, it
Mhm.
came out. I saw a bunch of trailers for it, but they were all the same trailer. Like, it got played a lot.
Yeah.
But it didn't seem like this thing that everyone was talking about. And oh my god, it's the next big phenomenon. And it didn't need to be. It was just like a fun summer flick. I don't know when it came out, but that sort of summer movie vibes where you just go, you see it, you have fun, and then you leave.
But
And-
not the Boxing Day movie because that's... No.
No.
That's bad.
Hmm.
I think it was exactly what it needed to be.
Yeah.
The movie perfectly fulfilled, and I'm really excited for his new film, David Leitch, the Fall Guy, which feels like very much in the same vein.
Yeah.
Just with I think better stars suited for his style. Like I love Brad Pitt, but
I think in that movie, in Bullet Train, the standouts are Aaron Taylor Johnson
Yeah.
and Brian Tyree Henry.
I love Brad Pitt so much, and when I saw it, I was like, oh, I didn't really love that as a Brad Pitt movie. Like that wasn't like a.
It's
You know, I love that as something
almost
different.
Any actor of
Yeah.
his sort of like demeanor and physicality could have
Yeah.
played his role.
He was kind of just there, which is not what you want from
He
Brad
was
Pitt.
still very good.
He's
he
good.
was very
Yeah,
good.
He's not. He's never bad. I just think
Mm.
you know, his skills weren't utilized correctly.
I will say, if there was a spin-off TV show of Lemon and Tangerine, I would be
I would watch
on that.
7 seasons, and it would be the greatest thing ever. They're amazing.
Yeah,
They're so
100%.
good. Their banter between them
Yeah.
is just amazing.
Yeah.
And the way that they talk about things that they've done makes you feel like you were there, even though you don't get a flashback or anything. But it just makes
there are some.
it makes
flashbacks.
it-
Oh, there's
well,
significant
yeah, there's some,
flashbacks,
but
not none with them.
the ones
right?
that they
Yeah,
no, there's
they
one.
talk about
Oh,
There's
yeah,
one.
yeah.
their one job.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if it, like the way that they talk about their line of work and everything, I would really want to see that kind of storyline expanded, even if it was like a movie where they do a heist or something, or even a precursor to Bullet Train. That
Yeah.
would be so cool.
Yeah. And
Even
after
though we already saw it.
after seeing Aaron Taylor Johnson in this and Tenet, I was like, I love this guy. And if he is the one that's going to play the new Bond, I don't know if that's confirmed yet or something. I think he's going to crush it, and I think he's going to be great.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it. Like first time I ever saw him was Quicksilver.
Yeah.
In Age of Ultron,
Mm-hmm.
and he did a really good job at that. Like he was the fan favorite character in that movie,
Yeah.
and then he died, and everyone was pissed
Spoilers.
off.
What? He
Yeah.
dies? I haven't gone to that part.
Yeah, that was so wasted. His character was wasted potential.
But yeah, everyone
the
loved
cameo
him.
in WandaVision.
Well, that was dumb. It was cool in the moment, and then how it paid off was awful.
Was a bit annoying. Yeah, but he's also going to be playing Kraven the Hunter in this year.
I don't
apparently.
want that for him.
No?
He's said he only picks roles that like he feels are actually valuable. So unless the studio has really gone in post and done some stuff, hopefully it'll be at least decent.
It just feels like another one of Morbius, Madam Web's. It's like,
It feels better than them,
but yes,
still
a level
still
above, but still in
agree.
that vein,
Yeah.
sort
it's
of.
still Sony.
But-
Exactly.
But
So
anyway,
don't hold your breath. but,
Anyway,
like,
let's jump into our moments
Yes.
because that's what we're here to do. Pick our moment. So, I'm going first apparently.
Ollie can go first.
That's easy. I already know my moment. It's because the lemon and tangerine banter is just the best, and I do love me some Percy Jackson. It's pretty early on when Lemon and Tangerine have their character that they're looking after played by Logan Lerman, who played Percy Jackson in the movies, and they give him a sticker of Percy from Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh, wow.
And it's just this meta joke, but even if you ignore the meta joke, all the stuff they're doing, the like physical comedy, the putting of the sticker on his forehead, the like metaphor they're playing with verbally, it's just such a hilarious moment. And then you look at it in a meta way, and it's really funny because it's Percy on Percy.
Mm.
I honestly
good.
didn't get that the first time.
Yeah,
But-
that's a pretty layered joke, but like the ones
It's
that
pretty
get
good.
it, get it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I
And-
love those types of jokes.
And
Those
it's
are
like,
great.
I know this is in a movie where there's a whole bunch of like physical action comedy, which is really funny,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just like their banter
Yeah.
works really well, and it's
Mhm.
like a chill-ish moment in this pretty hyperactive movie.
Mm.
Yeah,
I agree.
that's my moment.
I'll go next. Leave the best for last. My moment's a
Oh.
pretty basic pick. It kind of became a meme, but it's when Ladybug kicks Tangerine off the train, and then Tangerine has to jump and climb onto the train. That
Which is like pretty baller.
yeah,
Could
but
you
it's,
do it in real life? No way.
yeah.
But is it
I
hilarious?
beg to
It,
differ.
it became a
Okay,
big
go and do
meme.
it.
Him jumping on
Odds
the
on.
train.
Well done. All right, I'll get Tom Cruise to do it.
Tom Cruise would do anything.
Yeah, but I'm getting you to
He'd
do it.
yell
that's
at
what
you
said.
for using CGI.
Yeah, good.
No, I'm actually going to jump into a bullet train.
Yeah, he does it. Looks sick.
Okay.
Anyway, that moment before it became a meme was I saw it in theaters. Like, oh my god, that's so cool, and it really sets up the rest of the movie so well with him dealing with the rest of the characters, and it's a pretty exciting moment. And yeah, that would be my pick.
Fantastic.
So before I say my pick, I will say the bloopers for this film are some of the funniest I've ever seen.
Oh, I haven't
really?
seen them.
Neither.
There's one of.
So your moment is a blooper.
It's not.
The blooper
It's
reel.
not. I just want to say this because it's fun. But there's one where Brad Pitt is hiding in a closet, and Tangerine comes
Oh, actually,
in.
I have seen some
Yeah.
of these.
Where Tangerine comes in to the bathroom to do something, and gets scared by Ladybug in the closet, and I can't say what he says, but you know he gets startled, and then Brad Pitt comes out and goes, "You're very handsome," and just the delivery and. I don't know. It's so good. You should definitely look it up.
I actually have seen some of them. I forgot, but yeah.
It looks
Very
like they
fun.
had so much fun making this film. Though.
Oh, it would have been a great set because there's so many great like famous people involved, and like the story's so fun, the vibe's so fun. It would have been cool.
Yeah, it looks like so much fun. And it's one of those films that you can tell they had fun on, but it's also still really good.
Yeah.
Which can't be said for a lot of other films.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did really well.
Very true.
My moment is when Tangerine punches the big mascot in the face to get the case off them. That was.
I'm just loving thinking about it.
Yeah, that
It's so
scene is so
funny.
funny.
It's so
the,
funny.
the like the way they build up this mascot, and like it's just this inexplicable threat because it's just so soft.
Yeah.
They can't like fight it.
And
Yeah,
it just-
it's hilarious.
It looks like the mascot's just messing with them, just like, oh, ha, you're in the fun bit of the train. But yeah, I don't know. I just that image in my
Yeah.
head of Aaron Taylor Johnson punching this massive Japanese figure. That's such a bad way to describe it. A Japanese character
Yeah.
in the face is just it's so funny.
It's hilarious.
It's so good.
Yeah, they're so good. I think it's telling that all of our moments involve them.
Yeah.
Because they really are the best part about this film.
Oh, they should have killed him off. Spoilers, but disappointing.
I don't think there'll
No.
be a Bullet Train 2. So
No. But I'd love to see more of Ladybug. Ladybug and the handler. Surprise Sandra Bullock, but yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
Ladybug and the handler.
There are so many just random celebrity cameos in this movie.
The Ryan
Yeah.
Reynolds ones is so weird.
It's
Um,
just
Oh,
really
yeah.
funny though.
Surprise.
yeah, it's really
Ryan
good.
Reynolds.
Channing Tatum.
Michael
Um,
Shannon. Like,
The Michael Shannon one, I
What?
loved that. I love him, and seeing him was so fun.
it's weird though to see like the whitest guy possible in front of, in charge of the Yakuza.
yeah, right. Yeah.
Like,
Their final fight is pretty cool.
it is pretty cool.
Mm.
There are the fight scenes in this though.
Hmm?
They're really well done.
Yeah, you can tell that they were influenced, and David Leitch working on John Wick. You can tell it's like straight from the same cloth, and it's it always works for me. I love John Wick, and I love this movie.
You can clearly see the
Mhm.
inspirations there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's pick your moment for Bullet Train.
Fun movie.
What's the next segment?
So we figured we don't get to talk about genres enough,
No, we don't.
like as a specific theme. We don't do enough analysis beyond like deep dives
And quick pitches.
and quick pitches, I guess. So we thought it would be fun to we'll start doing a segment where we talk about our top fives in a genre. And today, as Jake said earlier, this is a sci-fi sort of episode. So today we're going to be talking about sci-fi movies. Our top 5 sci-fi movies. We're not going to deep dive any of the movies, but we'll just talk about why we like them, why we like sci-fi, and yeah, jump into the genre. Really immerse ourselves.
Sounds great.
So Cam, why don't you go first?
Why don't I go first? Because I haven't really figured out my 5 yet. There's too many of them. No.
You gotta.
I've got this. So, top 5 honorable mentions, because why not? The Star Trek, the Chris Pine 3 movies. Those are awesome. And they breathe new life. Oh, sorry. Is there 4? 3 or 4? I think there's 4.
I'm not.
I have no idea.
I'm not a
Never
Trekkie,
watched
so
a Star Trek movie
neither.
in my life.
Yeah, no.
Damn.
And I don't plan on it.
No, I will. I definitely will. I think Star Trek is one of those things. Like, it's a franchise that is spans lots of multiple mediums, and it's been going on longer than Star Wars. And I think there's some valuable stuff in there. It's very much in the same way Doctor Who sort of is. It's like a social commentary in the form of a sci-fi story, which I think really works and is why it resonates with so many people. I don't know whether the actual science fiction is as compelling as Star Wars' like world, but there's a reason it's popular, and so I would like to see that and figure it out.
Yeah. There's 3 movies, by the way.
Cool.
Nice.
But yeah, honorable mention to that franchise because it breathes new life into it for a younger audience, and it's really good. Also the Jurassic Park, the original 3. We don't talk about the other ones.
Yeah.
They were.
I guess Jurassic Park is.
It's kind of.
I don't consider it science
like,
fiction.
It's science. There is
like it is
some very big scientific elements in it.
It is like sci-fi movies aren't just space.
Yeah.
But
it's more of an action adventure film to me.
Yeah.
Science fiction is a genre. I just don't think it's its primary genre.
Yeah,
and I don't think it's its focus.
Fair.
But
its focus is dinosaurs.
One of my favorite movies ever.
Created
so I'm
by
happy to hear
fake
it
science.
No.
And
No?
I'll get
Okay.
into some more Spielberg later, but
love.
I think Spielberg is the king of this genre. I think
Yes,
he's the best
he is.
science fiction filmmaker ever.
He is. His creative genius could like nothing can rival that. The way he has created these worlds, it's amazing.
He's made like 8 instant classic science fiction movies that will live on forever. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and he's all within like 20 years of each other as well.
Yeah,
Like
it's just how
he doesn't
like
seem
how
to miss.
like how
It's crazy. So number 6, I know I said top 5, but number 6 is Pixels.
Yo.
I'm just kidding. We can do that bit.
I thought you were being genuine.
No, I'm not being
gonna
genuine.
lie.
I'm not being genuine. Top 5 for me. Number 5 would be Inception.
Yeah, great pick.
Amazing.
Nolan, another
Nolan.
great filmmaker in this genre.
Oh,
Yep.
you guys are gonna
We've
be
already
so mad
said-
at me.
Oh no.
No, just keep going.
We've already talked so much about Nolan. I can't say anymore.
What was that one film he made recently? Came out last year.
I can't remember. Ollie, can you remember?
He didn't make anything last year.
Oh, that's true.
No,
he
that's
had an
true,
off
that's
year.
true, that's true.
You know,
Yeah,
Tenet
yeah.
flopped. Everyone hated it. So
He
got
got knighted for something. I can't remember what it was though.
Yeah, I knighted him
Services
for.
to filmmaking.
Nah.
No, I knighted him for making Tenet.
It was something
and
to do
then-
with like kitchen gardens and like cooking.
Cool. Okay. Anyway.
Anyway,
Inception was
sorry.
good, though.
Inception. Yeah, no, it was really good. Number 4. What is this? Number 4. How can I not? Rogue One from
Rogue
Star
One.
Wars. Absolutely incredible.
Great
I
film.
think it's one of my favorite Star Wars films
100%.
altogether.
100%.
Definitely top 3 Star Wars films.
I found my 4K of that yesterday, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I like totally forgot I had it, and I was like just running through some of the clips. I was like, "Damn, this film is just the best."
So good. Yeah, I can't. I've already talked about this as well. A lot of these we've already talked about, but I absolutely love this film. It's not very what you typically would have picked as Star Wars when this came out.
Yeah, I was
And
very
that's why it
surprised
was
by
so
it in a great
divisive.
way. Yeah.
But I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3. This might be a little bit controversial, but The Maze Runner.
I think the first movie is pretty good.
Haven't seen it.
I've read the books,
Okay.
and it's pretty similar to the first book. And the first book is really good, and so getting that on screen, really cool. The second one and onwards, well, I'd never finished the second one because it branches so far from the book. I just hated it.
Okay.
And then I haven't even seen the third one because why would I watch that if I didn't
Yeah.
like?
I've heard that a lot about this series. But yeah, the first Maze Runner movie.
Yeah, I've been wanting to rewatch it.
I actually watched the second one first, and I thought that was pretty good. And then I watched this one and went, oh no, This one is
Well, like I don't know
so
that
much
I
better.
think that the second one is bad. I just think
It's
it's, a
just not
bad
as-
adaptation, and that's what I was looking for. an
I'd say it's not
adaptation.
as good as the first one though. I do like the idea of the scorch and that kind of thing about why they're in a maze, but apart from that, yeah, it's not as good as the first one. And that whole kind of like that kind of subgenre of sci-fi, like dystopian, with the Hunger Games and the Divergent series of films.
Well, I would say they are dystopian first. They just happen to be
Then
sci-fi.
yeah. Oh, well, then does it count for my top 5? Not
Yes.
Really. Yes? Okay.
I'll say yes. It's just like dystopia is not the subgenre because they all came out in an era where all these dystopian stories were coming out in the wake of Hunger Games, and so it just became this big thing. And so I would say it's its own genre,
Yeah.
but I'd say it's Maze Runner specifically is a sci-fi dystopia. Like
yeah.
Hunger Games is sci-fi, but really it's just like humanity in the future, and there's only humanity in it. It is just Earth.
Yeah.
It is just the future. The futuristic tech they have isn't the focus. So like it has a lot of those sci-fi qualities, but not a lot of sci-fi tropes.
It's more of that subgenre of dystopian that mixes with, because dystopian films are kind of mixed in with sci-fi in general, because that's just
I mean, like
how they're written.
like
but
Star Wars as a whole is a dystopian story, and so on and so forth. But
it's also science fiction.
But it is, well, yeah. Anyway, carry on.
Carry on. Yes, sir. Now, I was going to put Edge of Tomorrow
I love that movie so
in
much.
my
Great movie.
second, but I haven't watched it in a while.
I watched it
And there are some
last
other
year or like
films
start of this
that
year.
definitely trumped
That's a great science fiction
It
movie.
is, yeah.
it.
It's
It is
fun.
really good.
Yeah.
And I
It's
think
one of those movies that came out and people were like, eh, and then it came out on streaming and everyone watched it and were like, this is so good.
Yeah. I wish I could have seen that in the theater. It would be awesome.
Yeah. No, I just haven't watched it in a while, but it's one of Tom Cruise's best performances, I think.
He's so cool in that movie. It's awesome to see him, instead of playing like a guy that's very talented, you see him become talented.
Yeah.
And
It's a very good use of the Groundhog Day time
yes.
loop
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Totally.
So my actual number 2 is Dune Part 2.
Interesting.
And I've watched this twice already before it's even out on DVD. I love this movie. It's so good. This Dune,
Gotta get those numbers up, bro.
I'm this close to buying the book.
Just do it.
You should.
Book's not expensive.
No, I know, but I just haven't been out there in time to do it. But yeah, I'm very close to buying the book. It's amazing. We've already talked about it. And then my most favorite sci-fi film is WALL-E.
Nice.
It's a great
Hell
pick.
yeah.
Great science fiction
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, fantastic.
I've also already talked about this one, but yeah, it's one of the staple sci-fi animation films.
Mm-hmm.
One of the first,
I think it's the best.
and I would agree with that,
Obviously.
obviously. But yeah, I absolutely love this film. Surely we could do a screening for the Film Society on it.
I would love to do that. I haven't seen it in so long, and I really want to
We'll-
rewatch it.
We'll table it up. We'll talk to
Mhm.
Ben.
Sounds good.
Surely we can get the Soviet version of it.
So
Does that-
WALL-E.
does that
Soviet
exist?
WALL-E. I'm sure there's a dubbed version, and then we can just put on
Yeah.
English subtitles.
Yeah, true.
Anyway,
Jake, what's yours?
that's my top
Your
5.
top 5.
God. So this
I
top
don't
5
think God is
So-
a movie.
this top 5 is not my
Not with that
definitive top
attitude.
5. For example, Dune Part 2 is not on my list because I've talked about it so much recently. Like it would be, but I just feel boring, you know. I
You
wanted to-
also have seen it more times than anybody on Earth.
That's not true. There's a guy on Twitter that
That's a lie.
has seen it 21 times in IMAX.
I doubt
And
that.
No.
no, it's true.
It's
And
yeah,
actually,
he's
actually-
gotten-
Warner Brothers and like
Yeah.
all of these different people have like reached out to me and were like, we want to give you something in like as a response to your
Yeah.
20
So you think I'm crazy
21 times?
when you think about that? when
More
you
than
think I'm
that
crazy.
now.
Yeah, he's seen it
It's-
20, 25.
It's coming close to 30 now.
Yeah, and he posts a ticket pay stub every time he goes. So, yeah.
Which is
That's
like
it.
fantastic. Good for him. Why? Who has the time?
Hey,
we-
he's
can-
getting rewarded. He's probably
Sure.
going to get invited to the Dune 3 premiere
Can we
at
get-
this rate.
Him on the podcast?
Do you have them? Does
He's
the
too
Film
busy.
Society have the money to?
He's too
true,
busy.
He's too busy.
He's got stuff to do.
June Mega Fan has seen the film over 200 times.
That's the first
Well,
one.
June Part 2 in IMAX.
Dune Part 2, seeing that over 200 times, I don't think that's possible right now.
Like, if you did literally nothing
3
else,
times a day since it came out. Every day.
Yeah, but he wasn't doing that. There were some days where he wouldn't
Damn.
watch it. So yeah, he's not that.
is that
crazy.
allowed?
Damn.
I don't. For him, maybe. I don't know. You gotta talk
Not
to him.
allowed.
I only saw it 4 times, guys.
He
Come
can
on.
definitely quote it off by heart, though. I
Anyway,
don't think I've watched any film that much.
Yeah.
Same.
Like 20 times.
I've
insane.
definitely done
Actually,
that.
maybe Frozen. That's a lot.
over the course of my life, I've
Really?
seen I've seen The Dark Knight over the course of my life probably like 50, 60 times.
Actually,
Yeah,
wow.
because that came out, 2008, and
Yeah, but I didn't watch it until like 2016.
I think I watched it in 2012. But yeah, that's just me. Okay, let me get into my list. A few honorable mentions. I'll run through them pretty quickly. Jordan Peele's Nope. Awesome science fiction movie. Some of the most creative and unique stuff I've seen in a science fiction movie.
Yeah, I considered putting that on my list.
Very much a horror film, very much a lot of genres. I do think one of its primary genres is science fiction, obviously. Great movie. Another movie that's so underrated in the genre and is so awesome is Ex Machina, film about AI with Oscar Isaac, written and directed by Alex Garland, who has a new film coming out
Just
soon
the,
called
the-
Civil War.
The budget story behind that is insane
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
How small the budget was
Yeah.
compared to Marvel films.
Right.
And the CGI is so good.
Yeah, it's
I
all
know
the more.
nothing about
It
it.
is
You guys
insane.
would really like it.
Definitely look it up.
Have you seen it, Cam?
I haven't,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
I've seen a bunch of explainers on like, this is how you do CGI. This is how you manage a budget.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it's just awesome. Anyway.
Garland's got a new film coming out next week called Civil War, which I'm really excited for.
Are you going to watch it?
Oh yeah, for sure. Another film, Spielberg, War of the Worlds, adaptation of the famous novel starring Tom Cruise. Spielberg, Tom Cruise, sci-fi, everything to me.
Haven't
This
seen it.
Won't be the last time those 3 get mentioned in a sci-fi movie on my list. My actual number 5 is going to be Avatar: The Way of Water.
Interesting.
How's it interesting?
I just wouldn't pick that as a massive. I don't know.
Yeah,
it just wasn't that big to me.
Fair enough. This film is such immersive sci-fi world building to me. I
feel like the first one does. Well, I guess they throw you in a different location.
Unobtainium.
Hey, the second one
That's
doesn't
not-
mention
It's not
unobtainium.
mentioned at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of,
We've already
understandable.
We've already dealt with it.
yeah. In trivia.
Yeah, I love the movie. Seeing that in cinemas was one of the most memorable things I've ever experienced. I love the movie so much, and I see people's complaints, basic story, too long, and I throw them out the window because I don't care. My number 4 is going to be a bit of a dual pack, but I think it's relevant to mention them together because they came out simultaneously years, same director, Steven Spielberg's Minority Report and AI, Artificial Intelligence. 2 amazing science fiction films. Artificial Intelligence he actually made because Kubrick, before he died, gave the script that Kubrick was working on to him.
Wow.
So I think that story behind that, such an influential director in the sci-fi genre, and
Surely you can
Spielberg,
get Scorsese to do that for you.
we're in talks, don't worry.
Okay.
So that film's really
Before-
cool
Yeah.
Before he died.
And-
No, I was gonna say before you die. I was getting it the wrong way around.
and deals with relevant topics, and Minority Report is just such an awesome science fiction movie.
I
starring
watched
Tom Cruise.
Minority Report for a class.
Mhm.
It was like, it wasn't assigned. There was just like, there was a list of films, and I was like, none of these work for the argument I'm trying to make in my essay. And my teacher was like, watch Minority Report, and I just watched it. And I was like, yeah, there's a vibe.
It's so entertaining and so much fun, and
I forget
just
what
everything
it's
about it is like
That's the one about like they have technology where they can see the future and predict crimes that are going to happen.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
And
Cruise
then Tom
gets-
Cruise is the cop
yeah.
Who gets crimed.
who gets crimed.
He gets the crime against him.
That's a Puss in Boots, the Last Wish reference.
Good movie. Anyway, my 3 is Blade Runner 2049, Denise.
Yep.
Masterpiece. Such a great science fiction film. The only thing that's wrong with this film is that Jared Leto's in it. It's everything I love about sci-fi. The visuals are outstanding, some of the best ever. It's perfect. My 2 is Tenet. This film just gets better and better as I think about it. An amazing science fiction Bond movie that just has never been made before. I'll never understand the reception this film has to this day. I still see people online talking about how this film is boring, about how it makes no sense, and I just don't get it. Just watch the movie. Just watch the movie.
You don't. They even say in the first
exactly
20 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
You don't try and understand it.
Yeah. Again, it's one of the most unique, creative, exciting, visceral science fiction films that have come out, and I love it. And my number one is 2001: A Space Odyssey, the best science fiction movie of all time. Probably the best movie of all time, if I'm being honest. This film changed the way I watch movies, changed my life. Great movie. That's my list. I love this genre.
Do you want some water?
No disrespect to you, Jack. I absolutely love your passion, but you say this film changed my life about every movie.
A lot of films changed my life.
Yeah.
But
so your life's just like zigzagging.
Well, usually he had a dentist appointment, but then he had a 3-hour movie to watch, so he had to change it. So it changed his life. He's got cavities now.
No, but I fully appreciate it. Like, these movies are powerful. I just think it's funny. But yeah.
I'm just being honest.
Yeah, good.
It's a good way. No,
Fantastic.
it's good. It's good to make people actually be interested in a film.
Yeah, I mean,
to say, I love this movie this much that I feel like it has changed my life.
Yeah, and for that to be able to happen multiple times means that you are still growing and evolving as a person.
Mm-hmm.
And that can happen at any stage of life, which is fantastic.
There's a lot of movies out there.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
It's true.
There's like 3, aren't there?
Tenet, Oppenheimer, and Dune Part 2. Those are only 3 movies ever.
Crazy.
I'd be happy with that. In the apocalypse, only 3 movies to watch.
That's a good section. If you had 5 movies to watch for the rest of your life, what would they pay? That would be a fun section to do.
I would
Anyway,
go insane.
Ollie, what's your list?
No.
So mine are not ranked. I'm not going to rank mine in any way.
Yeah, that's fine.
The very first thing I want to say is Star Wars would be on my list as a concept. I know I do have a favorite Star Wars movie, and it's probably Rogue One, but it's not the one I would rewatch the most. And I think that's the best one. It's probably not my favorite if I'm actually going to rejig that.
If you're about to say that having Star Wars on your sci-fi list is cheating, that kind of makes sense.
Well, you guys said I better not have Star Wars, and I'm just going to use.
I didn't say that.
I know you were joking, but I'm going to use the cop out of Star Wars is science fantasy and just be like, it's its own thing. I love Star Wars. It will always be my favorite, but I want to mention 5 other sci-fi movies.
I totally respect it.
Bet.
So I'm actually going to mention 6. I just lied.
I mentioned like 8. It's fine.
Yeah. I'm not going to rank them, but this would be my bottom. Like, no, I'm not going to rank them, but I'm just going to mention first. I couldn't pick between, and this is why I said you're going to hate me, Transformers and Inception.
Oh, no, I'm with you
because
there.
It's not that I think Transformers is better than Inception. It's that I just love Transformers as a sci-fi. Like, it's a vibe.
Yeah.
Is it the world's best movie? No. Is it so much fun to watch? And are Transformers just cool as hell? Yeah. And then
amount
Inception.
Of times I've gone back and watched Dark of the Moon. Like,
yeah.
It's such.
And then
fun
Inception, really good, fantastic, very well made sci-fi movie with a very competent story. But am I watching it as much? And am I sitting there going, oh yeah, I'm just having the best time? No. And so that's why those two are sort of. I couldn't pick between them.
I can't hate. I love Inception. I love Nolan. Not my favorite. Not my top 3 Nolan. So I can't really go to bat for it like that personally.
Yeah. Fair.
And then I want to talk about The Atom Project. I think is an underrated recent release sci-fi movie. Do I really think it's one of like the top 5 sci-fi movies? Probably not. But like it's another fun one. Ryan Reynolds is a classic in it. Walker Scobell, who plays Percy Jackson, it was his first acting, or at least his first feature or like big budget acting project at age 11. And he like competes with Ryan Reynolds for being the better actor in that film.
That's awesome.
And like he matches his tone and his hilarity and everything like that. And I just think they have such a great dynamic. And it just so happens to be a sci-fi movie that I wanted to put it on my list because it's really fun.
I don't know why, but I always get this confused with Don't Look Up.
Those are very different movies, but I think they came out around the same time.
That's probably, and they're both Netflix, so
yeah,
maybe
Netflix
that's what it is, but I don't know
time.
why. I always it's nothing to do with like the contents of the movie, it's just the title.
Yeah.
I always get mixed up.
Have either of you seen Don't Look Up?
No.
Interesting. I have a lot of thoughts
It
on
was
that
shot
movie.
on Atlas Orion Anamorphics.
Cool.
That movie
I
should
don't
be a
know
masterpiece.
anything about what that
and
means.
it's not even
If
close
you
to
know what
being
that
a
is, you know
masterpiece.
that's super cool.
And then my
Anyway.
next three can absolutely not be ranked.
Yep.
I just really like all three of them. One of them, very new arrival. Very new
yes.
arrival to the
Yes.
list.
Go
Arrival.
away, not leave.
That was unintentional.
Amazing sci-fi.
I just think
Yes.
it's fantastic. I talked about it the other week, so I won't get into it. But I think it plays with sci-fi really well.
Yeah.
Then Dune Part 2 is just like
It's peak sci-fi.
I probably would have put Dune on my list before Dune Part 2 came out, but then I think Dune Part 2 is better. So Dune Part 2.
Yeah.
And then Back to the Future.
Yeah, Back to the Future.
I absolutely
is
love Back to the Future. I could
definitely up
watch it
there.
a million times.
Yeah.
I love Marty McFly. I love just
Everything
about it is
Yeah.
so comforting, and I wish I had a DeLorean.
Me too. And I wish I had his shoes. Yeah, just everything.
You know, they
It's such
actually
an
made them though,
Yeah.
and then they didn't sell very well.
well, yeah, because
because
they
they
sold
were
them for
so expensive.
so much money. Yeah, such an iconic movie.
But yeah, that's my
It's
five.
great.
And
Bet.
I just love sci-fi. I realized looking through the list, I really haven't watched that many sci-fi movies, which is something that I'm aware of and is a problem that I'm working to fix. Which
Well,
is why my next two movies are going to be the two Tron movies.
I know where you should start, and it's not Tron.
Well, yeah, I'll get there. It's Tenet.
No,
No?
2001.
One day. That has
Real
been on
quick.
my list for probably 7 or 8 years.
It's playing at Dendy in May. I
What is?
recommend.
Cool.
2001.
Yeah, maybe we'll do it.
Maybe.
Just real quick, have a look on your letterbox. What is your lowest rated sci-fi film?
I haven't rated because I have a list of. It says I've watched 486 films. I have only reviewed. Oh wait, I don't know how many I've rated, but it's probably 60
Mine is
out of 482.
Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh,
How do I check that?
go to your films. On the app is a little bit tricky. I don't like that.
No, I've got it.
But go to your films and then sort by
Science
your
fiction.
rating
Okay.
lowest. While we're waiting for Ollie, mine is Gemini Man and then Eternals.
Eternals is in my top 4 lowest rated,
Fair.
along with The Flash and Justice League. I don't really
Yeah.
think The Flash and Justice League and The Eternals
I'm
are
so
science fiction, but yeah.
so out of the ones that I've rated, mine's a 3-way tie. And remember what I said about this movie when I reviewed it. One of them is Poor Things,
Mm-hmm.
and then Hypnotic and Zoom. 2.5. They're all 2.5 stars. But Poor Things, remember what I said about it.
Yeah,
I don't know that it
Yeah,
should
yeah.
be there.
That's fair.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay, Jake. Yeah.
Did you- either of you
Hypnotic
guys
and
watch
Zoom.
Matrix Resurrection?
No.
No, I recently picked up the 4K for The Matrix, and I'm planning on rewatching that and then going through the sequels. I never watched the sequels because
So you've only seen the
Okay.
first one?
yeah, people have told me
Okay,
that movie
so
those
I've-
movies are bad.
I've seen the second and third, and while they don't match the first one,
Yeah,
the first one technically ends on a cliffhanger. Like it
Yeah.
ends
Yeah.
and sets up the next one. So I have watched the second and third, and they're fine. They're good. They're not as good as the first,
mm-hmm.
but they're probably better than the fourth. I don't know. I
Yeah.
haven't seen the fourth.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was told those movies were bad when I first watched it, so I stayed away. And then I've been thinking about it more recently. I'm like, that's dumb. I should just make the opinion for myself.
Yeah.
So I'm going to. I think I'm gonna have a break in between though. I feel like where people struggle is they comparing it to the first one, and people it's usually watching them right after back to back. So I'm gonna try and separate them. You know what I mean?
Like one every 2 days or one a week or something.
one a week. I don't know. I'm
The
excited to look at them.
I'd
and
say the
do-
first 3, they're all pretty good.
Yeah.
It's just the
The third one ends in a
Fourth
pretty
is
satisfying
pretty
way.
garbage.
It's like an open-ended, satisfying way. So I think you'll see how it goes.
I honestly don't see myself not enjoying them though. I love sci-fi. I
Yeah.
love Keanu Reeves. I love the Matrix world. Like it just seems cool. I've seen some clips from the second one, I think, with a bridge fight. It takes place on the bridge. And I'm like, that looks awesome. I want to watch that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
well, the newest one is a little bit.
Yeah.
You'll
enough.
see. You'll see
I don't know.
if you get a chance to watch it.
They
It's a
recently
little
announced
bit
they're
on
making a 5th one.
True.
No.
Without
Ah.
the Wachowskis.
Yeah, which that feels dumb. But
Anyway,
yeah.
those were our top 5 sci-fi movies.
Go great genre.
Now,
I even enjoy the bad ones. You know?
Yeah, I mean, sci-fi is just really cool. It's so different to our real life.
Before we do quick pitch, can we just talk about some Film Society stuff?
Absolutely.
So, if you're listening to this on Friday the 12th, you probably would have already seen the announcement.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to be having a screening at the end of the semester.
May 16th.
May 16th.
Yep. Probably in 2B9, where we hold most
likely
screenings.
in 2B9.
Yeah.
This is where you guys get the chance to submit any film that you've made at all for a chance to win some prizes. This is not the official UC Film Festival.
Mm-hmm.
This is just a little thing put on by the Film Society for a chance to get feedback on your work and also just meet other like-minded people to get some more opportunities to get on more film sets and get some experience. We also have a possible writers' room event coming up.
Yeah.
Where we will just have a day where everybody can come in and together we're going to just write a script.
Mm-hmm.
As like one script as a whole group?
A bunch of scripts. Whatever we need to do.
Yeah, I'll go to that.
It would basically just
I'm
be
not
a
even a
writer's
Film Society
workshop
member.
for people to write together, throw
You'll have
ideas off each other.
You'll have to pay for it then.
Ollie's providing everything.
$40 plus lunch for everybody.
He's not happy with
He
that.
didn't say no, so
He didn't say
we
no.
got it.
then.
No.
Okay, there
okay.
he didn't say no.
he didn't say no when he had the option, so
Yeah.
too late. I think that's it for.
But yeah,
Film
stay
Society
tuned
stuff.
for more information on the screening, and hopefully the writers' room happens before or after that. But yeah, the screening is going to be big, so hopefully everyone submits the films they got and turns up for a fun night. It's fancy dress. You got to come dressed nicely.
You've got to come dressed as the film you're submitting.
That too. Yeah, I'm coming as Andy from the drop off.
Oh yeah.
Those
don't
Please
do
don't.
that.
Please don't.
no.
But we also have in a week for semester 1. We will be semester 2. Sorry, thank you for the correction. A week for semester 2, we'll be having a couple of Film Society events. We'll also be running a workshop for the third years to get used to using the FX6s.
Will you be at Market Day?
We will be at Market Day.
We will.
Cool.
That's
Awesome.
us from the
So
Film
that's
Society.
it from the Film Society.
Stay
Yeah.
tuned on our Instagram page.
Okay, let's play quick pitch. I don't think we need to worry about whether we've used
We've done too many
genre
to
director
worry about
before.
that.
So
So
why
good.
don't we do sci-fi?
Sounds good. Might as well.
But
Yep.
we've used it before.
This
Why I
guy's
said my
this guy's
disclaimer,
funny.
Cam.
Yeah, haha, I'm funny.
Yeah, sci-fi. We need a
Okay.
director and an actor.
Now we need to pick a director that hasn't done one. We need to pick someone that we'd want to do a sci-fi. Can't pick Spielberg. We can't pick Denis. We can't pick Nolan.
Louis Theroux.
Not familiar.
Because he's a.
I know.
Okay. I was gonna say. Yeah. No.
No. He's in it as well. He's sitting down.
He can
with them
be in
the
it.
ship.
He can be in it. He's a
I
creator.
thought you were saying no to me.
A sci-fi mockumentary.
Martin Scorsese.
Well, I guess it could be a sci-fi mockumentary, and that would be pretty cool.
That would be interesting.
Martin Scorsese.
Scorsese directed a sci-fi mockumentary. No.
Starring
Scorsese can be
Louis
our
Theroux.
director.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd love to see what he would do.
4 hours.
Sounds great.
I think if Scorsese did a sci-fi, I would want it to be a sci-fi like on another world. I don't want a Scorsese sci-fi which is just like Earth is a bit more
Oh yeah.
science.
You want it to be very out there.
Yeah, I want it to be out there.
Oh, me too.
Because I think he plays with character in a way that they really interact with their environment.
Mm-hmm.
And so giving us some like fancy different world, or like it could be like a Coruscant-esque world,
Mhm.
or it could be a Tatooine-esque world,
Mm-hmm.
like whatever the case may be.
I think he'd crush it. He's a great atmospheric filmmaker. If you guys have seen the movie Shutter Island,
No.
it's a great horror
No.
movie. Bro got scared.
Scared of Shutter Island.
So yeah, the way he
Just the
builds
thought of it.
the way he builds a world there, I think he would do it well, adapting to the sci-fi genre.
Yeah,
so
cool.
let's do him.
Yep,
Okay. I
Scorsese.
just want to have a look at some of the other films he's done because none of them are really like too out of this world.
Yeah. I think Shutter Island, and then like
They're all kind of grounded,
Hugo, not
grounded
really.
within reality slightly.
Yeah,
Hugo's a bit whimsical.
Hugo is definitely one of his more whimsical movies.
To be fair, it's a kids movie, and like none of his other films. Are kids.
He's made this movie called After Hours, which is kind of like a nightmare comedy.
I've heard about After
with
Hours.
some psychedelic elements.
Yeah.
So it'd probably be those three.
I feel like After Hours doesn't really have a plot.
No, it's more about
it has a sequence of events.
Yeah, it's more about just things going wrong to this guy.
Yeah.
But that's kind of atmospheric, and there's some dream stuff in it that I think.
Yes, Cameron. How can I help you?
I have a different actor.
Yep.
Go for it.
Jodie Comer. Who's
with Scorsese directing and what would probably be a brutal film. I think that would really work.
Yeah, I think she is great, and I want to see her in more stuff.
What did she do in? Hang on. It says she was in The Rise of Skywalker.
She was probably a stormtrooper or whatever.
Just like not Daniel Craig.
Let's find out what she did.
Let's have a look.
I gotcha.
This would be a great time to promote some Film Society stuff.
She played Ray's mother. I don't remember that at all.
Oh,
there you go.
no, okay, I do. Okay, yeah, I gotcha.
What?
When
was
they're in the flashback, when they just sold her to, what's his name? Simon Pegg. You know what I mean. Unkar Plutt,
Yeah.
or whatever his name is. When they're hiding,
I don't remember
they're hiding
the
in the
scene at all.
tent. They're hugging her in a tent,
Yeah,
and then they sell her.
I'm looking at it right
and
now.
then they fly away.
Dumb scene. Anyway,
Dumb scene.
she's great.
Jeez. Okay.
But yeah, Jodie Comer,
Mm-hmm.
Scorsese, and Sci-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
I think it starts out and you're like, am I just watching Scorsese directed Blade Runner? It's like a gritty city world, but it's another planet. But she jets off and turns out maybe this planet is half and half city, half. I was going to say desert.
This is very cyberpunk 2077.
Mm-hmm.
Which I started playing recently for the first time.
Good. Is it good?
Yeah.
Storytelling.
I don't love first person,
Yeah, me
like
neither.
in that style of game. I
Yeah,
wish
no.
it was third person. Apart from that, it's cool.
You can't change
Let's-
the camera. That's dumb.
Let's
But-
talk about this later.
But I was going to say like half city, half desert, but half city, half volcano world.
Interesting.
Iceland. Not Iceland, the country, like a land of ice
Yeah.
surrounded
Like
by
something
a volcano,
desolate
a
Yeah.
volcano that's slowly
where
melting.
there
the
are
ice.
people living out there, not Mad Max style,
Mm-hmm.
but like they're living comfortably, but the city is trying to persecute them because they want to take the land. But it's another world.
Mm-hmm.
And who does Jodie play?
She's the protagonist,
Mm-hmm.
who is the daughter of the mayor
Yes.
of the city.
Mayor's played by Robert De Niro
Yep.
or Leo. Either one.
What if the mayor's evil advisor is played by Leo
Sounds good.
Sure. Daughter of the mayor.
or Joe Pesci?
And-
Joe Pesci.
The mayor
You'll get whacked.
kills Jodie Comer's like best friend.
Okay.
Because she decided to go and live out.
I was going to say this is the catalyst for her running out there.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, something to do with those people. Maybe he is originally from the Icelands.
Mm-hmm.
Not Iceland. The lands of ice.
But they've grown up together. And then Robert De Niro just comes out and actually like shoots him in the head with a blaster for something to do with that. He's like, this is our first rung on the ladder of resistance. That's a baller line.
That's
pretty
hard.
good. You should
write that down.
You should write that down. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
But yeah, he kills him and she's like, what? And so she runs away and
Bang. What? Bye.
Yep. It's
A revenge story?
It's a revenge story.
Perfect for Scorsese.
She meets up with his
Kind of like Muriel's wedding.
You can see the parallels though, right?
Nope.
Oh,
JK, I can.
no, too late.
She meets up with his family, and they're out in these Icelands, and they need to stop essentially the next thing from happening. Like they need to stop the takeover from happening.
Yeah, no, that's good.
So they do
And
it
it's
with
called the Icelands.
the
100%,
Icelands.
100%. Yeah.
Not Iceland.
Cool.
And it's shot in Iceland because it's such a beautiful
Well, probably.
country.
It's shot in Greenland.
Shot in Greenland.
That sounds awesome.
I like. I'm
Actually, what do we call it?
like
the Icelands.
The Iceland.
there would be more
Episode
complexity
3.
to the plot that Scorsese
For
would
sure.
bring that would come, but like
We're
as
just
a
giving him the
basic,
outline.
as a basic quick pitch,
Yeah,
I'm happy with that.
Shot by.
that would be interesting.
Or by Greg.
One or the
Then
other.
it'd be the best
There's
movie
nobody
ever
else.
made.
Nobody else we can talk to. Except
There's
for-
no other cinematographers ever.
Nope.
But that's it.
Not this broken film.
Who's
You know what? I'd rate this 4.5 out of 5.
mid out of 10. That's my new rating.
Surely we could put up
Mid
our
or
fake.
good?
We put up our fake movie names on Letterboxd and UC Film Society and get you guys to rate on them. And then whichever one gets the highest we can make at the end of the semester.
With that being said, that's it for this week of Off Camera.
Perfectly normal episode.
Yeah. We'll see you next week.